Hey guys, it's IDEGO here, and we are about to break down the production of my most recent song, Calling Out, that I did with my good friend Kins out of Memphis, incredibly talented artist. I've got my project file turned up here in my home studio. I have a very unique way of approaching my production when I'm doing these tracks. So hopefully you can glean something for it, or it's just, if it's interesting to you, let me know if you want me to cover anything else in the future. So here we have it. If we go through here, we have the beat and the vocals both separated on different buses. Makes it easier except for Kins's vocals, obviously. So we'll just go through and we'll start with just the general setup of my project setup. So on my beat, this is something I do for a lot of things. I use Logic, and one thing FL has against Logic is their fruity soft clipper, and it gives that kind of style that everyone's doing where it's just a little bit of that distortion. You kind of have to find ways around it in Logic, and I've literally abused the stock plugins. I've probably maximized everything you could do with them. So to, make up for that, I have overdrive on the bus for the beat, and so this distorts it. So I guess I'll play you the beat for a really second. So that's with it on, and then if I turned it off, it masks the fact that I don't know how to mix very well with my beats. I can just, and I just like the sound. I like very heavy, distorted sounds, very inspired by Tu Hollis, I've mentioned before, and his style of production. I think that's kind of apparent. And the second thing that I have set up is this Kickstart. It's a free plugin, but the free version only gives you one use of it per project file. So I just put it on a bus for there. If you've heard the song, there's like kind of more of an EDM switch up that I like to do in a lot of my tracks that is kind of just become my style. But yeah, we'll just go through here. We'll start with the melodies. My project organization is really bad, so I'm struggling to find the stuff I need. I should do better about that. Do not follow what I do. This bass right here was the first thing that I had down. And basically, originally this part was this really grating, like sawtooth sound that I made myself that was not great. But that's how it started. And then I go to school for music, and I was working with a professor who's doing lessons with me. And we were just flipping through different things, and we accidentally hit this sound and dragged this sound in on this one. We were trying to change something else. And we were like, that's so much better. We need to use that instead. And on that, I just put a little bit of overdrive to just match the energy of that just high, aggressive, scary sound. I don't know. And then we have just a little bit of EQ, not doing much. And then a sidechain compression to the kick drum, of course. And then the spreader never gets used. But this channel EQ is actually automated to turn on. If we go look at that. It is bypassed at the beginning because I have another bass that comes in at the end. We'll go over that in a little bit. So that's that part of the melody. And then, so here we come down to the bass. This is a really cool sound. And actually, this bass part was very emulated by the song F Some by Kanye. Very, very gross song. But the production's really cool. I think JPEG Mafia had some help on that song. I might be wrong. I know he had some help on that Vultures album that was very mid, but basically this, on a sidechain, I have the sub going. So, just to help out with that a little bit, and obviously chain compressed the kick. So there's that. Let's scroll back up here to the top. This Airways, this is a stock Logic sound. All the effects, I'm not going to go into it because I don't know what it does. It's stock. I can't explain it to you what it sounds like. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty obvious what's going on, but I didn't do this sound. Just a nice effect, makes it a little more ethereal. We'll skip down here. So we got this melody, which it's just a Serum preset that we've put some distortion on. I'll just play it without distortion. And it's actually the same exact synth that I used for the melody on my other song, Pray Song, which came out in January. Just like the sound, use it again. It's totally okay. And then I have this pluck kind of with a little bit of tremolo going left to right. And then now let's finish up this section. So we've got also as well this motorbike sound that I found on Splice that is such a nice effect. We also have a little bit of tremolo and an echo on it. And the echo's working more as a thickening thing a little bit. It's going very fast, as you can see with the 32, whoa, yeah, 30-second note. Ooh, 32-second, 30-second note. And then here, when it starts to switch up and the drums drop out, this is like my favorite sound ever. I use this all the freaking time. It is the Mega Bass is what I've called it. It was some Vital plugin that I just messed with and got the sound. Don't really understand what's going on here, but it is my favorite sound, and it sounds like this. I love it. I put it in so many songs. It's actually unhealthy how many songs I've put it in. So if you come over here, I bounced this out because I wanted to do some chops at the end. Yeah, I basically just wanted to do that as like the lead into the house part, EDM part. And then this is, I love this synth. I use it on a lot of this 2 Hollis preset. Pretty easy. Obviously, you can hear the kick starts working with that kind of sidechain effect. And then we also have this like guitar synth that I ran through a pedal board. And then, of course, we have this. This is like a very nice effect. And I have that just going on over and over again. And so this is what it sounds like. The beat sounds like without the drums. Obviously, I should have probably organized this better. It took me a little bit to solo everything, but sounding nice. Now the drums, literally nothing complicated. We have this snare for most of the beat. Just very hard metallic. I've got a reverb on it, stock reverb, not doing a ton. Just giving it some of that space that I wanted in the snare because I needed it to be big. I needed it to be epic. And that's kind of what I was going for. So putting the reverb on the snare, of course. Then we come here to the kick. So we got a little bit of EQ treatment paired with the basses. And obviously, all the low end is side change to this kick. Yeah, we put a little sub bass on that as well. Yeah, but nothing too complicated there. We've got this crash. Nothing too crazy. And then the hi-hat panned a little left. I need to get better. I need to pan more, I've been told, and I agree. I need to get more creative with my panning. So basically, here's the full beat. I'll play you the lead-in and the EDM section without the vocals really quick. So yeah, you hear it sounds like it's almost clipping and it's just so loud. That's just what I like. I know that's not for everyone. Not everyone loves that, but that's what I prefer in my production. Is I prefer super, super, super loud. I just like it. All right. And I can't explain otherwise. Moving on from the beat, let's go into my vocals, and then we'll hit Kinz's vocals. I mix my vocals probably not how most people would mix their vocals. Maybe, I don't know. I just do what I think sounds good. So for this song, I needed it big and epic. My goal was to push these vocals far back and feel like they're almost in the background, literally calling out. So you can it's hard to hear what they're saying sometimes, which is by design. I just wanted the feeling there and just like the yelling from the distance. So unfortunately, we'll take every plugin off and you'll hear what it sounds like. This is raw. I'm calling out. I'm calling out. The bells are ring. I'm just like groaning into the mic. Holy crap. So then we have a little bit of EQ that we put on there. I'll show you that. This is the EQ. I'm calling out. I'm calling out. The bells are ring. Just cleaning it up. A compressor. I like to have my release between 350 and 500. I'm calling out. I'm calling out. Evens it out a bit, brightens it up. Now, one thing I really like that Logic has is this console EQ. I don't use a ton on it. It looks like I have a little bit of EQ on it. I don't use it much. I'm looking at this drive knob. So the bells are ring. I'm flying now. It's a really subtle, like brightening saturation effect that it gives, and I really like it. So next we have this multi-band compressor. When I started using multi-band compressors, I need to get Pro QMB. But when I started using multi-band compressors in my production, it fixed so many issues I was having because I was trying to EQ it and stuff, but sometimes it just needed that a little tamed, like a little bit more. I'm calling out. I'm calling out. So just tames the vocal a little bit. Another channel EQ.
The bells are ring. I'm flying now.
Little more cleanup. So a lot of people like to put their pitch correction first. I like to put it last so I can clean the vocal before it goes into the pitch correction, but then I'll clean it up some after again. Usually it doesn't look like I did that on this one, but it's just the way I do it. It's the way I like it. It's the way I get the sound I want. It doesn't make a terribly big difference, but you just need to be mindful that when you use the pitch correction first, you're gonna have to go in and correct some of that stuff, which is fine. It really doesn't make much of a difference. So it doesn't look like I actually used the distortion on this, but next I had this. Don't really know what it does. It does some sort of saturation, stereo saturation.
I'm calling out. I'm calling out. The bells
On the vocal to front, it's the IDEX. It's Intelligent Dynamics. I think it's from Waves. It was free one time. I picked it up and I just threw it on. I was like, what is this? And it worked. I'm about to show you my favorite production technique that I use that I've stolen from other artists like Two Hollis and people in that EDM, rage rap genre like Nate Sibb, Two Hollis, Tiffany Day, kind of hyperpop adjacent. They love to sidechain clipping. So this is a clipper and I think I have this hard clipping. So if I was to solo this, it's just distorted. And you can make it soft and you can actually change the curve from this to slowly more like this. I'll show you that really quick. You literally change the type of distortion. But putting this on the bus allows it so I can fade it in just as much as I want to get kind of controlled like clipping distortion. And it almost works as a compressor, like a parallel compressor, because it's kind of brick walling it, so it brings it more in the front of the mix. So then we have this. I do this differently now, but I used to put my echo and reverb on different buses. I now put them on the same bus usually. Just makes it easier, but yeah, put them both on there. So I have the echo at an eighth note, 56% feedback. And I have the reverb at about 695 milliseconds. Probably should have messed with that pre-delay more. I've gotten better at actually using my reverbs and actually how to set them properly, but that's what I had it at. And for on the one vocal. And then obviously I'd always like to stack my vocals. So I've got a double left, double right. So these ad-libs are actually what make so that's literally me going, oh, calling out into the mic with the auto-tune, and the auto-tune makes it sound good. Yeah, it gives a cool call and response vibe that is nice, and I like it like that. So yeah, that's the vocals, my vocals on the chorus. Ignore the names on the tracks. I need to get better at naming my things properly, but so for these on this on this verse, I just put them all on a separate bus. I mean, I'll go ahead and just verse. I've got the distortion cranked. And it's already pretty distorted because I have the clipper on all these pretty heavy. Yeah. And then at the end, I just straight up just chop them a little bit. And before jumping to the EDM section vocals, I will go to Kins's vocals. Love you, buddy, but your vocals are so annoying to mix. So here we got it. I'll show you the raw. So he's got a very unique voice. So I go in, I correct it a good bit. Gets the mud out, obviously. A compressor. Into that costly EQ I was talking about. Trying to brighten it up. His vocal's very muddy, so kind of getting some of that high end can kind of counteract that. So for the multi-band compressor, I'm actually boosting the high end while also compressing it. So like some upward compression. And then another channel EQ. It's kind of getting somewhere. It still sounds a little meh. And then this actually helped. And I ain't trying to give you a lecture, electrifying, and I ain't talking to Tesla, testify about the heavenly paradises. So this actually brought it to the front a good bit. That made it sound nice. And then and now we're getting somewhere. It actually sounds decent. And then Space Designer and Echo. For the ad-libs, I just have a really basic signal chain. I mean, you can look at it. There's a noise gate. The Echo and reverb are actually on the track instead of to a bus. I was lazy. And then a tremolo, so it's kind of coming from different sides throughout the song. When he says ding, 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 I also added these bells. So now we'll jump to my favorite part, which is these crazy... These like super crazy distorted vocals that I have. It's like you can't even tell what I'm saying. It's just I'm really just going for the sound, and it's like it literally sounds to me like electricity. So I'm like, So I'm actually clipping into the mic, which is fine because I ended up going and treating that, but it just kind of made the vibe I want. Same basic signal chain. The difference is 31.5 dB of drive into the distortion. Pair that with the sidechain clipping, the echo, the space designer, and you get this crazy sound. For the second half, it's literally the same thing, but I just have more. I'll play that really quick. So it's crazy. The last thing that I forgot to go over with the beat is this little section here. It's after the EDM section, and it's just a little like 2-second like, oh, let's turn around, and basically it's just a swoop, this little like phone ringing thing chopped up, made in the tempo with some seagulls because you love some nature and it makes you feel ah. So in case you don't know, in Logic, when you do fade outs, you can come here to region and go to more, and you can change it from a fade out to a slow down, and that's how you get the... Love doing that. That's the song. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm definitely going to do more of these breakdowns of my songs. Yeah, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.